So I was introduced to a young man in his 20s who had come over from Seoul to New York City. I met up with him, also met his girlfriend, and as it turned out, they really were open to learning the Bible, talking about the Bible together, and exploring the possibility of Christian faith. So I introduced him to a GCMI Mission Catalyst, and they began to meet together over the next few months. They were only going to be in New York City for a little time, and so they tried to invest as much time together as they could. And they learned and grew and took turns facilitating discussion together. And then eventually they went back to Seoul. And while they were in Seoul, the young man also brought together some of his friends, some 20-something peers, and they also met together and discussed the Bible. They really just reproduced the exact thing that they had experienced when they were in New York. He was there for a few months, and then eventually he went to Los Angeles. While he was in Los Angeles, he gathered a couple of Korean friends and even a Japanese international student, and they just reproduced the same thing that they had also done first in New York and then in Seoul. At the same time, back in Seoul, his girlfriend had joined a church, started growing her faith, and ended up being one of the organizers of a mission trip to a Muslim country in Southeast Asia. From New York to South Korea to Los Angeles, just reproducing what had been modeled for him and what he had learned and experienced when he encountered the Bible and began growing and learning about faith in Christ. This is the kind of thing we're talking about when we describe making disciples at the world's crossroads. These are the opportunities that are in front of us when we reach the nations next door.